For those of you that always come and say, you have started again, I pray Nigeria will happen to you and your family. Now again, Simon Ekpa is now responding to that. Britain has made Christians in Nigeria their official enemies. The British High Commissioner to the Islamic State of Nigeria has announced what he calls Zulum plan for securing Borno. It turned out to be what you see on the second image. So what is the second image? According to another headline, Borno Governor Zulum exclude Christians community from the government 3 billion palliative. The question is, don't we have Christians in Borno State? I'm sure some of you that have been following, the recent Bobani from the Awujale to El Rufai could not go further to become a minister because it was going to go through or would not be allowed a security clearance, and that was the reason why El Rufai pulled out. But tonight, we have now seen that the same El Rufai has been given the Bobani in Yoruba land, which literally means that he's been conferred a title. Some say it is just a title. Some of us are concerned because this title has never been given to someone that is not from the southwest of Yoruba land called Nigeria today. The question then is, what is the game plan for someone that also says, and I quote, with so much evidence that there will never be a Christian governor in Kaduna State? We've seen the attacks on so many innocent people in Kaduna State tonight. But it seems that the king, Oba Awujale, that has been in the reign for more than 6 decades, decided that it would be in the interest, a cordial relationship between El Rufai, this Fulani man, and the Yoruba, and this is what Babakito is concerned about. It seems that our kings are giving more opportunity to those that will become endangered species for the future of the Yoruba people. I'm asking tonight, do you still think that the unity of Nigeria is going to happen in our lifetime? If that is not going to happen, what then should be on the table and what then should we be discussing tonight? As I take you through the last segment, which is just about an hour before we end this program, it's coming up to 7:33 p.m. local time in London. I'd like to appreciate every single one of you that have joined us. And every time you are on this platform, we love to say to you, welcome. Well, welcome to where?
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
The military continue to ask questions. Who is funding Simon Ekpa? We've heard the Nigerian military talked about, how Simon Ekpa lives in Finland, destabilized Nigeria. Is Simon Ekpa destabilizing Nigeria? Let's talk about the Biafra movement for the next few minutes. President Bola Tinubu, what is he going to do on the case of Nnamdi Kanu? Is he going to allow judiciary to go ahead? But it seems that there is a tension that is currently brewing in the southeast because the Biafrans believe that the rights of the Biafrans must be respected just as the right of any individuals that disagree with Nigeria or agree with Nigeria must be respected. But the military are now speaking out. What are they saying? The military say that there's so much insecurity in the country. All this insecurity is happening tonight because of one reason or the other. Once again, I'm asking tonight, for those of us that disagree.
So when should we expect an end to terror in Nigeria?
Well, we're going to come to that. When should we expect an end to terror in Nigeria? The security is being asked. Do you ever think that the terror in Nigeria will come to an end? And if it's going to come to an end, on what note? What should we do? Should we hold the government accountable for the insecurity that have led to many deaths and lives, especially under the previous administration and the current one as we speak right now? The military was asked a few days ago, what are they doing to end terror in Nigeria? What do you think they're doing? I'll be telling you that in just about a few minutes. But also the military is saying that Simon Ekpa is being encouraged and is also destabilizing the problem in the southeast. Not just that alone, even those in Nigeria are concerned that it seems that Simon Ekpa is not doing is doing what we call destabilization in the southeast of Nigeria today. Remember that Simon Ekpa says, and I quote, that if you do not allow us to negotiate, then we have the right to defend ourselves against the terrorist country called Nigeria, which continue to kill, maim, and also make life ungovernable for our people. But before we go into all that, the Senate continue to worry. The Nigerian Red Chamber are worried. What is their worried? What are they concerned about? They are concerned that every Monday, it seems that Simon Ekpa has the key to Southeast. Even the Senate President Akpabio says, and I quote, that Simon Ekpa, the leader of the Biafra movement and also the PM, is the one that has the key. And when they say, for those of us that understand that Yoruba. So with all these situations that is happening as we go into 2024, what should we be thinking of? What should we be prepared of? Should we be concerned, or should we just overlook it and say it is nothing more than the fact that it is just the Biafra versus the federal government? What about if these escalate further? What do we do? These are the questions that many Nigerians try to avoid, because for them, maybe by saying it, they might be picked up by the DSS or the security. But no DSS has the right to pick me up from here. No Nigerian military has the right. Even if they put a petition, we have the right to talk about this pressing issue that is currently on the table. And let's start with this, as I have all these ready for us to listen to. My name again is Olayomi Koiki, and you've been watching the Star Radio UK network on the Wednesday edition, the 20th of December, 2023, as we are now countdown to Christmas. This is how the Red Chamber has been talking about Simon Ekpa in the last few weeks.
To a national crisis.
Unless you condemn the sit at home in totality, as well as in the various activities of Simon Ekpa, who is a gang leader. 2, urge the federal government of Nigeria to collaborate with the Finnish government and extradite Simon Ekpa for prosecution. 3, urge the federal government to use political solution and approach in handling the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Mr. President, it is common knowledge that our brothers from the Southeast largely hold the commerce of this great country. If commerce,
and that is Benga Daniel, the senator representing Ogun State.
In this part of the country, I'm afraid it indeed a national problem that I think should be treated as a national challenge.
All of us in the National Assembly, we have met. Everybody has condemned it. I need the Senate to know that there is no one in the Southeast except the criminals who support this sit at home.
These boys have caused an industrial problem in our area. And we have to represent Senator Abaribe. They are mainly manufacturers. And Aba is a manufacturing house. None of the industries can open. People have suffered so much.
The Senate is now seeking the intervention of the federal government.
So if people are going through so much, let's leave that. The question we should ask the Red Chamber is it not going to be appropriate to start having a kind of discussion and let Nigerians decide? You cannot decide for us. Yes, you are some of the representatives for those that still believe in Nigeria. But what about those that do not believe in Nigeria? We must open a dialogue channel. We must negotiate. You cannot sit back and say they are destabilizing the Southeast. They are making life ungovernable. They are preparing all this and all that. Even the Scottish people that wanted to exit, they were given the right to self-determination in 2014. So if anybody is thinking that the situation in the Southeast is going anywhere soon, it is not going anywhere soon. It is going to become much more problematic. But the military are still concerned, and their concern is that someone out there seems to be sponsoring this Simon Ekpa and the government that he says he has formed, known as the government in exile. This is what they, this is how that has been said as we prepare the next video that will come as an audio. Shout out to every one of you that have joined us so far. We're not bringing anybody in. Please do not send any requests. This is a Star Radio UK program, and there's nobody that will be allowed to speak apart from you listening. Let's listen to these as well. I guess this is the one we just listened to right now. Not sure if it's the same thing. I guess it's the same. I don't want to play the same video. Once again, good evening. I think it's not the same. Let's see. Let's see. Let's hope it's not the same video I just played earlier on.
To a national crisis.
Unless you condemn to sit at home in totality.
No, we'll let you know when the next audio will be ready. So my question to many people that are out there tonight is, should we ignore the Biafra government in exile and just overlook it as nothing, as if that nothing is going to happen and they're not going to do anything than just ranting on the social media? Or have they been able to hold on to what they believe in, and that is now having a big impact in the economy situation? Yes, I think we have that ready now, where the military speaks about Simon Ekpa. Let's listen to that.
Expose all those ones doing those things, especially people like Simon Ekpa. He's sitting down there in comfort. Some countries are encouraging him to do what he's doing to Nigeria, and we are here supporting him. So people must desist. We must call what is wrong, wrong. But I know that we're taking efforts to ensure that we secure the whole of Southeast, and we'll continue to do that. We regret the souls have been lost. If you see the way they have killed, these guys are not human beings. They are eating flesh. We have seen them doing cannibalization. We have seen them doing cultism and all these things. So it is not, nobody should ever support such kind of people. Because the more you support them, it's like growing a monster. He will come after you. It's just a matter of time. We have seen that happen over and over. So I want to appeal to everyone, never for whatever reason, for whatever gains you think, support such people. Thank you. I think I've addressed the few questions.
So does the military think that, deceiving some of us and thinking that some of us will just sit back and listen to their garbage that they speak when they go to the Red Chamber? You might not agree with everything the Biafra does, but we must talk about whether they have the right to self-determination. So the military is thinking that some of us are so gullible like some of the media in Nigeria. We are not gullible. The British government knows that the right to the Biafrans must come true. If the federal government doesn't know that, it is time that they need to understand that. The British, the United Nations, the European countries, the ECOWAS, the African Union knows that Simon Ekpa is asking for one thing. Let us decide our fate in this union called Nigeria, just as the British citizens decided their fate, whether they wanted to remain as part of the European Union or not. But for the military to think that they can come and cajole or give this false narrative about the movement that is happening in the Southeast, I beg to differ from what they are saying, because everyone knows that the fraudulent constitution that have been used against every single Nigerians, including the Yorubas, is not working. Everybody knows that the amalgamation itself was so faulty that the British knew that giving power to the North has literally held some of us backwards today. My question again tonight is, are you one of those that agree with the military and disagree with the right of the people, but you are one of those that wants to travel to Europe? You want to go to Europe, but you don't think that Europe that you are traveling to gives the respect to the self-determination of people that disagree with the same government that you want to travel to. If you don't want to travel and you want to remain in Nigeria, that means you are still as backward as even during those eras. Self-determination is a right, and the right will be respected whether the government likes it or not. It is not about firepower. The president knows that. Bola Tinubu knows that. Shetima knows that. Your governor knows that. And everybody knows that Nigeria is just another crime scene. And whenever there's a crime scene, you have to investigate why, and many lives have been lost. Alan Conley say, what of Nigeria? You guys supporting it is not taking our life every day. Many people have been killed by the same military, and we're going to remind you that the same military executed many of you during the NSAS. So if you're one of those that think that the military is doing the needful by accusing or pointing finger because Simon Ekpa disagreed with them, let's tell them to go and rescue the 14 Nigerians that still want to be in Nigeria that have been kidnapped by the terrorists Fulani and the Boko Haram and the ISIS between Sunday after they were kidnapped on their way back after they played. I'm talking about the Nigerian juju musician known as Omoba the Jumbo Beat. 14 of them have been kidnapped and the military is not doing anything to rescue them. As we prepare to take you through to one more area before we start talking about so many other things that we need to talk about, because we are just about almost 40 minutes away. There is a lot happening. APC under you conduct Nigeria worst primaries. Amosun reply Oshiomhole. They've started again. They play politics with your life. They tell you lies, and yet they all drink and dine and wine together. The same politicians that are thinking that some of us will continue to operate the way they did in 20 years ago, things have changed. We can now tell the people why you should support the right to self-determination, and it's entirely up to them to accept it or not. Many Nigerians are crying out today because of the hunger in the land. At 8 o'clock, it will be a sponsored program, Ilana Omo Odua, where we're going to be speaking in all Yoruba language, and I'll be telling you some of the latest update from the economic situation in Nigeria has been recorded by our media at home. But before we do that, let me quickly tell you some of the news headline coming out of Nigeria this evening. According to the news, former Ogun State Governor Ibukunle Amosun today derided the ex-national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, who he claimed lied about the circumstances leading to his removal from office as the party chairman. It's all about them. They don't care about you. They will never care about you because politicians think about just how they will continue to manipulate and continue to deceive and continue to give you the false hope that one day Nigeria will be great. How many of you are struggling to get access to your cash? Many of you have been sent money by your loved ones, but you cannot get the money out. Also, another sad news coming from Anambra as the fire has got 30 shops in this very difficult economic situation. Let's take you through to some of those headlines because we couldn't do much of that in the morning when I spoke to Archie on the morning show. According to the story coming from Anambra, fire has engulfed a section of the popular Nikpo main market in Idimili, North local government area of Anambra State, near the commercial city of Onitsha. It was gathered that the fire occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. According to the report, that the fire had already razed no fewer than 30 shops before the traders mobilized and managed to put it off before the men of the state fire service arrived. Imagine the fire service team could not get there on time. I keep saying, may Nigeria never happen to you. Let's go straight again and take more headline before we go. Kwara police kill a robber suspect of recovery stolen vehicle. It's coming from one of the headlines. As we continue to monitor the situation in Rivers State, the elders have rejected Tinubu intervention, says his decision is executive rascality. According to many of you that says that Nigeria is working, my question is, since independent, what have you gained in Nigeria? As many Nigerians want to japa, sometimes you might have to do your diligent work before you japa, because you can end up japa and find yourself in a place where you are told that there's jobs in UK and you end up coming here and there might not be job. My job is not to tell you not to japa. I am not in that position to say to you not to japa, but as a man that have lived in this country for 2 decades, I will tell you to do all your diligent check before you pay that money to that agent, to that person, so that you do not be a victim. What you should know about the new UK immigration rules. The United Kingdom recently unveiled a comprehensive 5-point plan in a bid to curb immigration. Mixed reactions have trailed the plan, which encompass various measures such as prohibiting care workers from relocating with their families and increasing the minimum salary requirement for skilled worker visas. Let me break it down. Many of us have been coming with our loved ones under the COS, but as time goes right now, according to the new rules, you will not be able to travel to UK with your family members. I am not the one saying that. That is what the UK government is saying. Also, if you want to be in UK under the skilled worker visas, you would have to be earning close to £38,000. Once again, must be good evening to you and the rest of you that have joined us across. Let's go further. Again, if you're traveling to UK, please, please, please do your diligent check so that you know where you're traveling to and what you need to do. African Development Bank has now withdrawn international staff from Ethiopia amid diplomatic breach. Adeleke, the governor of Osun State, has approved 1.6 billion naira bond certificate for 346 retirees. Also in Osun State, he also says that there's a curfew in Ifon and Ilobu communities. Group commend the military commitment to peaceful, stable Nigeria. Do you think that Nigeria will be stable? Well, it depends on where you are looking at it from. If you go to the southeast, it is well militarized, and that is why Simon Ekpa say, for us to negotiate, the military must first go back to their barracks. The military has nothing to do outside their barracks, but because Nigeria is a lawless country that doesn't respect rule of law, the police officer do not have the well-trained equipment to be able to see and detect crime. The 1999 Constitution does not give room for state police. So tonight, one of the headlines says, a group is now commending the military commitment to peaceful, stable Nigeria. According to a group of National Equality and Justice Forum, has commended the armed forces of Nigeria for a sincere commitment to a peaceful and stable Nigeria. I'm asking tonight, do you think that Nigeria is stable? Thank you so much as you join and also as you continue to share. Good evening to you, Mr. Moa Oludare JP, Mrs. Stella, good evening to you. Mrs. Downsi Folashade, I say welcome to the program. Mrs. Ojo and the rest of you that have joined us, and I say Merry, Merry Christmas, because by the time I come back, we will have all celebrated Christmas, but like I said, Merry Christmas in advance, and also Issue Day in advance on the 24th. Issue Day is coming as well. For those of us that will be celebrating that, I wish you ahead as well. If you're new to the platform, it is called the Finest African and Caribbean Radio Station in London, and this is what I say every Wednesday.
At work, at home, on your smartphone, in your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone, in your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
It is Star Radio UK.
Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
Every Wednesday, you will join me here at exactly 8 o'clock, which will be 9 p.m. local time, because in Nigeria, you are 1 hour ahead of us. I'll be telling you everything you need to know when it comes to Nigerians, Yorubas in Southwest lamenting, complaining about the prices of foodstuff. Tinubu's government promises press freedom. Do I believe that? We're going to have to wait and see. Because during the former President Muhammadu Buhari, he hates the press so much that he literally banned Twitter, as at the time is now called X. The former President Muhammadu Buhari posted something on their timeline, and that was pulled down. He actually reminded the Igbos of how they were dealt with, even though that we now find out that after the civil war, it was not just the Nigerian government that was fighting the area, it was a proxy war. So Tinubu, the current administration, says, and I quote, I will be different. I will allow freedom of speech. I hope that is going to happen. As I speak to you tonight, Daddy Yati was kidnapped in Kaduna, and we know that El Rufai will be aware of his kidnap because he was a critic of the government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government has restated its commitment to freedom of speech and press to promote and provide dividends of democracy to the citizen, which is the way it's meant to be. That is the normal norm. And this is actually coming from not Lai Mohammed anymore, but this is coming from the current Minister of Information, Onoda Mohammed, but not Lai Mohammed. Information Minister Mohammed Idris stated this while he was receiving officials of International Press Institute of Nigeria. This was contained in a statement by the ministry spokesperson Sulaiman Aruna today. According to the minister, freedom of press plays a pivotal role in the institutionalization of democracy in the country, adding that it will be recognized for its vital role. Tinubu used Radio Kudirat to fight the democracy that they wanted. It ran out of Nigeria because the former late military dictator Sani Abacha was going to kill Tinubu as at the time. So he fled to UK where he lived for 4 years. So for those of you that are thinking that we, the campaigner today, preparing our people for the total exit out of Nigeria are doing anything wrong, maybe you might want to ask President Bola Tinubu how and who funded and how they were able to execute so many of their projects. But tonight, we are living in a different era where we can communicate much faster because of the latest technology with the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter space, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Facebook, and so many other platforms. But as at the time of the Nadeko, Tinubu never had that. But maybe that is the reason why this current administration says, I quote and say, I will allow freedom of speech. And I'll be monitoring that because many journalists fled, even DJ Twitch left Nigeria in a hurry because she was almost going to be killed. In a democratic society where the role of the media, like I'm doing tonight on the Star Radio UK, will not allow it to play its role in reporting and setting the agenda for development. You do not gag the media. The moment a media is gagged, you've lost anything talk about freedom of speech. So whenever some of you see the way we speak and the way we talk, it's because we have the freedom to checkmate the government in UK, in America, around the world, and most importantly, in Nigeria. We only ask practitioners to be responsible for this duty. The Nigerian police is delirious of social engineering for which the government requires the support of all stakeholders, including the press. We hope that the Minister of Information will leave time to come and speak to us so that we can checkmate whether they are truly saying exactly what they would do. You don't come to UK and speak to the BBC alone while you do not speak to the local media. You got to speak to the local media. You got to allow town hall meeting where we can ask questions. Sometimes those questions might not be very comfortable with the government, but it is right. It is just like how we were able to recall back, the former Prime Minister in UK, Boris Johnson, to that inquiry to ask why 10 first doctors that died during the COVID were all from the Black ethnic minority. So, but in Nigeria, it's a different ball game. So I'll be monitoring this and I'll be reporting that whether truly this is just another essay, Tinubu's government is promising press freedom and free speech. I will monitor that and I'll be reporting on that as we go into the new year. As I say, in 2 minutes, it's going to be a sponsored program called Ilano Omo Odua. But before that, let's look at the economy as a whole. The Nigerian economy is going down, but some say, according to Tinubu, that we are doing everything to allow investors to return back to Nigeria. The federal government is committed to poverty reduction. How? What are they going to do differently? I'll be telling you in the next clip that we are preparing, as many Yorubas are lamenting. They are lamenting. And once again, this is still
Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I prepare us to tell you what is happening, Tinubu urged to declare state of emergency. You wake up every day, there's no factory to go to, there's nothing to do about playing Baba Jebu and all these other bets that someone lost his life. He actually committed suicide on the social media last week. Please do not commit such. President Bola Tinubu is now saying that, or no, not Tinubu, it seems that is coming from the Resources Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, has now called on President Bola Tinubu's government to declare a state of emergency on unemployment. If you're not employed in Nigeria, could you let me know if you're employed or not? Many of you have studied. Many of you have gone to secondary school, primary school, university, tertiary, and you've come out, and yet 7, 5, 4, 3 years, you are still searching for jobs. It's because Nigeria is not producing nothing, not even a toothpick. Almost everything that you consume in Nigeria is imported from many countries, including even the Okada that many of you have become Okada rider today. So according to the Resources Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, says, and I quote, the executive director Ibrahim Zikrulai made the call at the news press conference on the state of the nation today in Abuja. According to Mr. Ibrahim Sikirilai, called on the government to vote 1 billion naira for job creation in every 774 local government area nationwide. Do you think that Bola Tinubu will be able to do that? Olamileko Okpe says no money, no work, and things are very costly in the market. And I can confirm that because in the last couple of days, we've been sending our team to check the price of foodstuff in Nigeria. And like I said, we're going to be telling you all that as we go into Ilana Omodua sponsor program. If you're not a Yoruba speaking person, I would do the summary of whatever you're going to be listening to within the next couple of minutes, because we have a lot of recordings that have come back to us from our team that are working tirelessly. Let's start with this trader somewhere in Ifo, local government area of Ogun State. Okay, let me explain briefly because of our other listeners that are not Yorubas. What our mother there is saying is the cost of buying food stuff in Nigeria is sporadically high. And the reason is because the dollar, the naira is also having a big impact. Nigeria does not produce anything, and that means that there's pressure on the naira as we speak to you tonight. So our mothers that we have been visiting in the market, I'll be playing another one. This is now a sponsored part of the Yoruba Nation campaign by Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Group, telling the Yoruba people to beef up because there's going to be more poverty as the government is now being asked to declare state of emergency with the job search. Is also the mother is also saying that she was asked whether she collect cash transfer. Transfer. She said, well, I would have loved to, but when I go to buy my food produce, they do not accept cash transfer. Let's finish the last part of that interview. And kudos to all our team. And we want you to continue to go out there and ask whether they are now ready for the struggle for the Yoruba nation, whether when we say we are coming out, especially our mothers, that is the next assignment for some of our media colleagues that are working on behalf of the Star Radio UK network and the sister broadcast. So again, they are not receiving any cash, transfer. You would have to take your cash. They are not taking any transfer. You would have to take your money to them. The next one is also another trader that is also complaining. And let's listen once again to our team on the ground. Continue the hard work. We appreciate you as you continue to give those diaspora, Nigerians, the Yorubas, the non-Africans that believe that Nigeria is a great country. But right now, even Benin Republic money safer is getting much better than the Naira itself. Okay, this our mother is talking about the road network from Abeokuta. Many lives have been lost and many lives will continue if nothing is done to Abeokuta Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Again, they are complaining that we voted you in, President Bola Tinubu. It is your responsibility to make sure that you fix the road. It is your responsibility to make sure that the road are pliable for everyone that drives on that road. But the question is, what happened to the last administration when it comes to the road network? Thank you so much for joining us, and keep your comment coming as you're joining us on all the platforms. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station. As let's go back again, Nigerian traders are now complaining about the end to growing hardship in Nigeria, especially in the South, and I believe it's the same thing across the country. Again, not that they are not just able to, unable to eat rice, they complain, they are lamenting that the road network is becoming unbearable. Well, the mothers are pleading, and their plea is already been heard from Star Radio UK. Let's go to another. Our elderly mother says females are now turning against President Bola Tinubu. Our mothers are ready. Maybe by the time we call for another peaceful rally against food hunger in Yoruba land, I hope they're going to be coming out. As let's go straight to the next conversation. Okay, the mother is explaining, just as we've been talking about, how many of our Yoruba female have turned into prostitution, how the young boys have turned into what we call, ritualists, trying to make money through the ritual platform and then trying to make money through Yahoo. Ashatishele Yoruba. Thank you so much. Eni eku iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Orí àsìkò tá wà yìí náà la pè ní orí ètò ti ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà níbi tí a ti ń polongo ti Yorùbá nation lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ for the next 5 minutes. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, àwọn tó ń fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn wọ̀n nìyẹn. Akíyàwó Comfort Adeleye Grandma, wọ́n ní which stable Nigeria? Did they think everyone is full and deaf? Bàbá wa Kẹ́hìndé Òsénì, bàbá wa Ọlákúnlé, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, àsìkò yìí náà ni àsìkò tá a máa ń sọ èdè tiwantiwa, èdè tó lárinrin, èdè tó dùn. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá wá láìkì irú àwòrán tí ẹ̀ ń rí lára mi yìí, tẹ́ bá ti lọ sí Omita Culture lórí Instagram. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ Transistor Radio, ẹ kàn sí Àṣà àti Ìṣe, àwọn náà mọ àwọn tó máa pè, ẹ kàn sí gbogbo àwọn mídíà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹja tó gbọ́n táwọn ìyá wa ń sọ. Àwọn ìyá wa ń kẹ́dùn ariwo wọn ti dé London lórí ètò Star Radio UK. Now, what is happening is àwọn ìyá wa wọ́n ní kó wo àwọn ọmọ kékèké tó ń kiri búrẹ́dì. And for those that do not understand Yoruba, they are actually saying that many of the youth, children, minor, are being used to sell, hawk goods in Nigeria. This has been happening for years, for decades, and you would think that by now things will get better. Mr. Kola said, I don't understand Nigeria again at all. Things are moving from bad to worse because everything are costing every day. It's called inflation, sir. Mokiba Bawa Silver Badmos. But when darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò tàwa yìí náà là ń gbọ́ yìí, kò ń ṣe last year, kò ń ṣe last month. Inú ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni àwọn ọmọ yẹn jáde tí a lọ ń gba ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn ìyá wa ní gbogbo abúlé sábúlé sí ọjà ẹja gbọ́ díẹ̀ sí nípa nǹkan tó ń sọ nílé báyìí o. Ìwọ tó ní ilé dùn ilé dá, mo rọ̀ ẹ́ pé kó farabalẹ̀ kó gbọ́n tó ń sọ níbí nísìn. Wọ́n ní ẹni kọ́mọdé má kiri ọjà, àmọ́ àwọn ọmọ yìí gan ni wọ́n lọ ń mówó wá fáwọn òbí wọn. Òbí mi gan ó ti síkì sínú ilé. Kí la máa ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí? Kí ni ìjọba láti ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí? Mo kí yàwá Olúsànyà dúpẹ́. Tọwọ́tọwọ́ ni mo fi dárúkọ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí bá ti pè síwájú. Bímbìm mo kí yín, ẹni tá àwa wá dárúkọ ẹ má fi ṣèbínú. Mo kí àwọn Biafra, mo kí àwọn Arẹwà, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ìbéèrè mo kí Akéde, mo kí Ọlá ọmọ, mo kí bàbá wa Gbájé. Gbogbo ilé tá à ń sọ yìí náà fún àǹfààní tiwa ni. Mo kí bàbá wa Kéde Oòduà. Ilé tá à ń sọ yìí kò sẹ́ni tó ń bínú sí Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Ìbéèrè tá à ń bi Bọ́lá Tinubu bàbá wa ni pé kí lẹ máa ṣe? A rí fídíò tí àwọn custom tó jáde tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn gbàgbàgbàgbà nítorí pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ kó ráìsì tó ti wọnú ilé ọ̀rẹ́dì. Ẹ ṣe má jẹ́ kí ráìsì wọlé, ó ṣe jẹ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù lẹ́ ń fara ni. Kí lẹ́ ń fara ni wá fún? Ètò yẹn la ń pariwo ẹ̀ lórí ètò Star Radio. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ìgbé yín ti dé London, àwọn èèyàn ti gbóhùn yín. Gbogbo ẹni tó mọ̀ yín tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbóhùn àwọn ìyá wa. Ẹ já gbọ́ díẹ̀ sí látara igbe táwọn ìyá wa ń kégbe láti ta. Okay, this our mother continued to give us update that 3 years they've never come across electricity. 3 good years they've never received electricity in their area. How do our people survive in this very sad situation? Maybe it is time that the center is not holding and we must bring it down in a way that will save lives and property. Olakule said that is just the way it is. Chicken might be 30,000 naira next year because as we speak right now, it was 11,000 last year. Price of goods is going up and it will continue like that. One bere eto Waris Zinadu sọ pé Tinubu matics, Tinubu economatics, it pepper them, it is sweet us. Ṣé bá ṣe máa sọ náà lélẹ̀, ìyá máa ń já àwọn èèyàn wa nílé, kò máa ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ eré mọ́ báyìí. Okay, they are also lamenting that they go to the hospital. There's no any kind of medication, there's no drugs. Well, Akeredolu is having a great time because he's currently enjoying a good health care wherever he is around the world. The question again is, who should we hold responsible? Is it our governors, our senator, our House of Reps? Kílódé tí ìyàn ti wọnú ìlú tí gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ dákẹ́ tọ̀sán kankan. Ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ̀? I saw Dino Malaye tó ń tẹ̀sí àwọn Nigerians lójú pé e dey pepper you, e dey pepper me, e dey pepper you, e dey pepper me. You know, I'm sure some of you have seen the video where Dino Malaye says, "These are my beautiful cars. Where is yours? Come and show me." Let's go back again. Bí wọ́n ṣe ń pariwo innovate ni, don't pity them all because none of them listen since you have been shouting. Let them keep standing on the mandate. Or your mandate, Bola, or your mandate. Mo kí bàbá wa Adékúnlé, Mr. Túndé Bọ́lárìnwá, mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ kí yín. Àwọn audio tẹ́ ń gbọ́ yìí, fídíò ni o, ẹ lọ sórí page wa W76 Media, ẹ lọ subscribe síbẹ̀, kẹ́ lè máa rí latest update. Kò ní wá sórí ti Koiki Media for now. Orí ti WD76 lẹ́tí máa bá wọn pàdé báyìí nítorí pé èèyàn ti wọnú ìlú àmọ́ tí wàá jẹ gbèsè báyìí o. Ta ló máa bá arúgbó san gbèsè? Ẹgbẹ́ òsókè yìí yá wa.
Ìjọba àgbáyé àwọn United Nations wọ́n fún Nàìjíríà ní about 100 billion.
Àwọn ìyá ìdí kò wúlẹ̀ wọ́n láwọn rówó. Maybe you might think that the méjì that play ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ gbọ́. Many Nigerians wọ́n náà wọ́n tẹ̀ rí owó gbà jáde. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Bàbá Bọ́lá Tinubu ẹja tún gbọ́n táwọn ìyá wa ìtúsọ níbí báyìí.
Ìfọláwà yóò ẹ káàsán o, ẹ gbà wá Nàìjíríà ìjọba, ẹ ṣàánú wa ibi pa wá o, òṣòwò ń ta o, ọjà wọn gbogbo ẹ̀wọ̀n owó mọ́tò péréke o. Ààrẹ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹgbẹ́ ṣàánú wa o. Ọlọ́mọ mẹ́fà wà lọ́wọ́ wọn, ọlọ́mọ 12 wà, àti jẹ́ àtìmú. Gbogbo ẹ̀, àwa là ń dágbé là ń dábọ̀, ẹran wà lọ́wọ́ gàrí wọn, epo wọn rẹ̀sì di 1000.
Èwo lẹ́yìn ìta ní ìgbà ìlọ́gbọ̀n ti.
Ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ní o, èso ní owó mọ́tò náà lọ ń ṣílé o. Wọ́n bá mọ́jà díẹ̀ wọlé báyìí, wọ́n lè ní 60 something ló gbọ́jà wọlé. Ọjà tí wọ́n
ṣé pè lọ sí gbọ́jà yẹn láti mọ́tò?
Ọ̀rọ̀ àtàbúlé náà ti ń gbé owó mọ́tò náà máa fi gbọ́ sẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, ẹ ṣàánú wa o, ṣé gbà wá o.
Ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ yẹn ṣé àwọn èèyàn wá rà mọ́ ni àbí?
Àwọn èèyàn rà bọ̀ tó bá wọ́n jẹ́ lòpọ̀ síbẹ̀. Ẹlòmíràn bó bá di pé ọ̀pá ó ní ìdí ẹ̀ náà ló máa rọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ láti rà. Ṣàánú wa.
Bọ́ọ̀ ló ṣe bá ọjà ẹ ṣe ń lé tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ sí.
Àwọn ọjà ń yá dáadáa tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, àmọ́ ń sìn àforítì ń dẹ́kun báyìí. Ọlọ́run la fi ń jẹun báyìí. Ọlọ́run la fi ń jẹun.
Wọ́n lè wá ní fún wọn báyìí kọ́ ṣe fún.
Ó da owó síta kárówó ṣiṣẹ́, ó rẹ everybody lọ́rùn káwọn ọmọ náà jẹ kó ṣe. Arówó wa bá ṣiṣẹ́, arówó ráńjà àwọn ọmọ bá wà òkè, kò ní sí wàhálà. Òṣìṣẹ́ ló pọ̀ jù nínú àǹṣọ́ ọ̀lẹ́ kan ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Báńkì ẹ̀kan nìkan ló wà nílùú ìfọ̀nù láàbọ̀ adé báńkì ẹ̀kan. Ṣé báńkì yẹn àwọn wá bí wá pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wá nígbà tó fọwọ́ pẹ̀lú ọkọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ̀ka àwọn ẹ̀ka sá sínú oòrùn látàárọ̀, ẹni níwọ̀n bá ń bẹ̀ tó fẹ́ gbà tí ò rí gbà lásìkò. Ọyọ́ náà mọ́lé tó fẹ́ fún lóyún òun bá pápápápá, á gbà lé lọ.
That they cannot even get access to their money. Yes, they were shouting the mandate since we're telling them. Well, they have the right to shout the mandate. The question is, what is President Bola Tinubu going to do differently, as quickly as possible, to save the people, to people that are complaining, lamenting? These are current images, videos coming out of Nigeria tonight. We are just 11 minutes. Let's go back to this particular video that we are playing to you as an audio. If you want to watch the video clip, you can go on our page, WD76 Media, and you'll be able to watch it there from the sister broadcast.
Owó Emefiele àtọwọ́
wọ́n bá wọ̀dà owó fún owó yẹ́lò owó green gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe kọ́ bá dà síta ó máa gbogbo ẹ̀ máa ṣe yọ̀tọ̀ mi ká máa ná gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ́ra wọn lọ ká máa dán ọmọ mọ́ya wọn gbogbo ẹ̀ máa lọ bó ṣe ń lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ kí láìsí máa wọlé ó bá wọ sí bọ́dà náà ká máa ta láìsí.
So again, they are complaining that it seems that the border continue to be locked. Why is the border locked in the southwest? Why in the north they've left the border open for criminal activities? Mr. Goodluck Company, Goodluck, thank you so much for joining us. Ogbe Mudia, thank you, Mr. Felix. All these are reasons why some of us are saying maybe the center cannot hold longer. Also, you can't get money in the bank, no food outside, no security. Dollar is dictating for our naira, all in the name of the mandate. So let's quickly, because I want to get another one in. This is another mother complaining. These are different mothers. Let's hear from this inside seller.
wà ní 7,000 tẹ́lẹ̀ tá a tó nígbà tá a rà á ní 5,000 ó ti di 8,500 sí i.
Kí ló pẹ́?
Ògùn ayán.
Ògùn ayán.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Eléyìí máa ń pe kunu àbí?
Ó kò pé kú ayán yìí.
Ayán wà lámọ́.
Aláǹtakùn.
Ayán wà lámọ́.
Àwọn èèyàn làbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ nígbà tó ti wọ́n. Àwa náà orí kẹ̀kẹ́ kan ṣàánú wa tí wọ́n ṣe àṣàánú wa sí àwọn ìjọba kan ṣàánú wa o. Wọ́n ṣàánú àyẹ̀kọ́ kan ló ti wọ́n o. Àárín nǹkan jẹ o pé bí mo bá pa àwọn ọmọ aláàbí wá sínú ọjà o kàn jọ o.
Ẹ ṣe gan.
Well, you had it there. Ẹni tó ń ta oògùn aáyán ó rà pé ṣé òbésèrè kọ́ ló kọ oògùn aáyán kìíní kan mọ̀ràn tí mọ́. Ẹ já gbọ́ ìyá wa tó ń ta àwọn awó nílẹ̀ lé níbi tí wọ́n ti sọ pé ṣé oúnjẹ ṣọ́n rà fún Christmas sílẹ̀ ẹja gbọ́n táwọn náà sọ.
Ẹgbẹ́ bá a sọ.
Ọdún àwọn àtẹlẹ 2,500 ní ìṣòkì di 5,000 kò lè ṣòwò àtàkàrọ̀ ọ̀sọ̀ sí aláìsí ẹ̀dìyẹ káàrà 2,000 ó ti di 5,000 ó ti di 12,000 ẹjọ́ ìjọba ẹ̀ṣánú wa o ẹ̀ṣánú wa o ẹ̀kọ́wọ́ sí kàkọ́ kò sówó kò sọ́jà kò sówó ní ìsìn àròwó àti lọ báǹkì àròwó gbà wọ́n ṣàlù rẹ̀ bí ìgbàwá o wọ́n ṣàlù wa o òṣèlú ká máa fi ṣiṣẹ́.
a ní pati one time Christmas báwo lọjà àjẹsí máa ń já sí time Christmas báwo ló ṣe máa ń yá sí complex bí oṣù wa rí sí báyìí.
Nípa Christmas ọjà máa ń yá ká máa ń tajà àmọ́ ní ìsìn ọjọ́ ìjà kò sọ́jà kò sówó ààrẹ àríta ẹdìyẹ kára 5,000 wọ́n ṣe 3,000 kò sówó kò sí nǹkan kan kọ́ ṣàlùwà wọ́n bọ̀ wá kówó jáde kí gbogbo kan rọjú.
kí ló lè fa ìjẹ mímú yẹn ṣé bí wọ́n ń gbé wá láti lòkè òkun ni àbí oúnjẹ tó ń jẹ ni àbí kí ló fà á ṣé kún náà ló dẹ̀ fà á náà ni àbí òun.
oúnjẹ tó ń jẹ tí wọ́n ti oúnjẹ tó ń tà 2,000 tẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti di 5,000 wọ́n ṣàlùwà òun ló jẹ́ pé ìyẹ́ tí wọ́n tù àwọn èèyàn ò lè rà mọ́ ẹ ṣàlùwà owó mọ́tò ti pọ̀ jù tí a bá lọ.
Sórí ọjà kò ṣeré
mọ́tò ti pọ̀ jù kò ṣeré fọwọ́ mọ̀ owó mọ́tò ló fà ní tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí
Well, how much more can we talk about the current state of things? This is the last one. Àwọn tó ń dẹran ẹja gbọ́n tó sọ.
Báwo ni sẹ́wù ṣe lóore wò?
Wàhálà ìgbòdà ara.
Ìjà rárá.
Wàhálà ojú bá Nàìjíríà jù.
Torí èmi máa ń gbọ́ pé àwọn ẹlẹ́rìí lówó ni wọ́n máa ń lówó.
Àlówó wọ́n ti bọ̀ jáde fún wa o. Olórí kúkú ni wọ́n ti bọ̀ jáde o. Wàhálà ẹ̀rọ táwa ni lára 75 tẹ̀lé. Ìsì 150 lára.
Ẹ̀rọ màálù.
Ó ti wọ́n gan sí.
Báwo ni pẹ́sọ́nà fún wa sí lójú bí wọ́n ṣe ń wá bí tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń wá wí tì.
Wọ́n wá wí tì àwọn máa ń lò lọ́wọ́. Ẹ̀rọ tí wọ́n gbọ́ jẹ wọ́n kó ẹran. Ṣé ẹran yẹn ṣé oúnjẹ ṣé ó máa ń pọ̀tì ẹ̀ ní lóye wọn ni àbí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Àbí ọyún pọ̀ tàbí wọ́n.
Èmi mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa ń fún màálù jẹ elephant grass.
Elephant grass
wọ́n máa ń fún jẹ. Lóyá ó lè fi owó èrè ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ń gbé wá láti náà.
Well, that is how far we can go with all the latest updates as we get into the Christmas festival. If you're outside Nigeria, remember that your loved ones at home might probably need your support. Please reach out to them if you can. We cannot tell you not to reach out to them. If you're able to, even if it's just one chicken, send it to them, let them buy it so that they can celebrate Christmas. If you're not one of those that celebrate Christmas, please do not condemn those that are doing that celebration. You can celebrate whatever you believe in, but do not condemn those. Moki Alaja, Alasho, Moki Bugwainti Darapamoa. And as I'm going to be handing over back to the studio tonight, I have been, this program comes up every Wednesday. So in case you want to join me again, it will be 6 p.m. local time in London, 7 p.m. because of the time difference in Nigeria, up to 8:30. One thing is, we pray that Nigeria will not happen to us. We hope that those that are still currently being held inside the Boko Haram, den will be released, or probably they will have to pay to get themselves out. That is the brother there, the Juju artist that has been kidnapped with his crew members. We hope that things will come back and they will come back home to celebrate Christmas. Many Yorubas are still asking what went wrong. Why did El Rufai become Bobaniyi? Some say it is good, while some are complaining as well. In Ambikano, as we say, is still currently being held by the DSS, even though the Supreme Court says it needs to now be tried, though they disagree that Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped from Nigeria. Akeredolu has now finally given way for Ondo to have peace by saying that I am not fit to be the governor right now. He has now given the acting, the deputy governor to become the acting governor, and I hope the acting governor will not also abuse the power while it's going to be looking after the people as well. We talked about Professor Moyo. We pray for you. We continue to hope that the next individual would also not have to go through what you went through in Nigeria after the security operative almost killed you in Festa, but your life was saved by the Igbo people as well. Many of you will send money home. They are not likely to get the money because there's so much cash trap in Nigeria right now. As we continue to monitor Wike versus Fubaru in Rivers State, we hope there will be peace in that region. And as we continue to pray for Dr. Olayomi, as we remember that his mother has not yet been buried, we hope that as the preparation will be coming soon, if we have any information on that, I'll be giving it to you. But if you're one of those that think that maybe you should have the Ashotonta, reach out to us and we can let you know where you can buy yours as well. I'm talking about Asho Okuya Mamawa Igbowo. That is coming out from me officially. If you are interested, let us know and I will let you know where you can buy yours ahead. There is no date that has been given. If anybody's telling you any date, that is on their own cup of tea. I am the spokesperson for Igbowo. No date, and I repeat, no single date has been given. And I'm not joking with this now. I know many dates have been put out there for security reasons. There's been no date that has been confirmed yet for Olayomi's mother's burial. I don't care whatever you have listened to in any platform. I am telling now on behalf of Igbowo and likewise as the spokesperson. Yes, the event is going to happen in the next couple of months, but no date has been given yet. I know some of you want to travel, you want to plan the journey. We say it will happen in February, but no date has been given as I speak to you tonight. So that is on that quickly. The 1914 amalgamation is one of the most fraudulent things that should ever happen in Nigeria. We hope that we can be able to de-amalgamate Nigeria. As we pray for the soul that have now passed on of the mother-in-law again of Dr. Chief Igbowo and our mother, our auntie, Sister Rokbo. We pray for you. We pray for your family. And as Mama has been laid to rest, we are still asking why Adogon body and Alhaji Fattah is still being held by the government. It is time that President Bola Tinubu asked the DSS to release the bodies of Adogon and Alhaji Fattah. They were both murdered right inside the Igbowo's residence on the 1st of October, on the 1st of July, 2021. It is no longer something that can be contained, but we are saying that we hope that the bodies are still wherever they kept them, and we are going to continue to ask that these bodies be returned back to the family so that they can give them the final burial right according to their religion, which is Muslim. You cannot hold on to that. We will not agree with that. The Yoruba nation is not yet declared as a country. If anyone have told you, especially that Dagboru woman, that the Yoruba people have got a country, they are bringing in an interim government, please don't listen to that garbage talk. It is just a garbage talk. Yoruba nation is still campaigning for a nation. Nowhere, no document, no evidence that can confirm that we have a Yoruba country as I speak to you tonight, the 20th of December 2023, as one of the campaigner for Yoruba Nation. Thank you so much, my brother Yemi Fatoke, for the love, and the rest of you across the globe. And now I will hand over now back to the studio where I say, "O Daro." As we leave that, I'll be playing the final part of what we love to do on this platform. I say good night. Join me again next week, Wednesday, as we continue to ask for the right to self-determination. But for those of you that still believe in Nigeria, we wish you all the best. And I pray, may Nigeria not happen to you. And on that note, I take it that my producer will take over from here now.
Ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀ bá ń kọ́ wọn Adéyẹmọ.
Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho, orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá, orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o, torí pé gbòòrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé. Títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà, wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà, ẹ̀dá kan ò lè yí bá lọ́nà mọ́. Ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan ká lè débi re. Ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho, Ìgbòho ṣá. Ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde. Ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi, ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà. Ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí, omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu. Ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho, ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábàdà.
And we just come off on the Star Radio Network, and I'm just back to my own platform. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate, we love you for standing with the truth and nothing but the truth. You will only hear the truth on this platform. First and foremost, I understand, many people think that, we are against this, we're against that. Yoruba Nation has been declared. Let me say it again clearly. Let me disconnect this one first, because at least I just needed that for the extra lighting. I couldn't make it to the studio today, so if you don't make it to the studio, we run the studio from the house, which is what I'm doing tonight. So Mokibu Len can say, Eti Darako Moa, Eti Shimatu Lanfani ati wo ni Leri Tabati she Bubueton. Am I king on full at Atigba country? No, Atigba country. We are working to get a country. We are working to get our own country. Because anywhere Nibitile Shudelale, we Atigba Yoruba country. Now, ìbéèrè tí mo fẹ́ bi àwọn ìyá wa tí wọ́n ń lament yẹn is that ṣé tá bá wá pè wọ́n nísìn pé kó jáde, tá bá pè wọ́n pé ẹjá jáde, kí gbogbo wa ká jáde, ká lọ béèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa, ṣé wọ́n máa jáde? Ṣé tá kò sí sound, ẹ má bínú because mo ti jáde lẹ́ǹkan ẹ jẹ́ n refresh ẹ̀ kí wọ́n wọlé padà. Mo wá lọ. Oh my God, can you actually go and missing? Okay, resume. Oh my father. Oh yeah, kí sound yẹn padà nísìn. Torí mo send message sí producer mi kó lè. Oh yeah, kí sound yẹn ti padà nísìn. Mr. Ashiri, ẹ bá mi check. Àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook nìkan ni. Oh yeah, kí sound yẹn ti padà nísìn. So, no genuine declaration of Yoruba Nation from anywhere, and the so-called ambassador at large is a fraud. Fraud ni gbogbo wọn, ìyá burúkú yẹn bá fraudster gidi ni. Kò sẹ́niwẹ̀, kò challenge wọn, but kò sí point ká challenge wọn, because at the end of the day, we know that it's a fraud. Yes, we want Yoruba Nation, and we want it now. But wanting it now is different than picking up on my gbero kalẹ̀ pé àti make a declaration àti gba country and all that nonsense. It's all gimmicks. Okay, so tẹ́ bá wà lára àwọn tó ń believe that nonsense. N tó kọ̀ yà mí lẹ́nu pé àwọn tó wà lábroad tó ń believe ẹ̀, because ẹni tó wà lábroad gan mọ̀ pé ó ní process tí ẹ fi operate nílùú tẹ́ wà through your local government nílùú ìgan lásán, local government nílùú yìí ó ní process, ó ní ètò. So kíyàn kan wá sọ pé ẹ ti gba country, ṣé mọ̀ pé ẹ gba country tó ń sọ yẹn bàbá fraud gan nìyẹn fúnra rẹ̀. Fraud ni, because knowing fully well pé tí ní access láti ní ẹgbà country yẹn, because governors in operate. Okay, ẹ jẹ́ ká mú Ondo State as an example nísìn. We saw the shenanigans that took place in Ondo State. Kí ni shenanigans I mean by that? We saw how Akeredolu ó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ di emperor sínú state yẹn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ kó yẹ pé irọ́ ló pa, kò lè happen. Akeredolu ò kì í ṣe governor tó máa jókòó sí ìlú Ìbàdàn láti máa pàṣẹ sí Ondo State nígbà tá a ní deputy. Èmi ẹ̀kọ́ rọra wo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Ondo State yẹn. Kíyàn kan wá gbé fàbú fún wa láàárọ̀ pé a ti gba country yẹn, but à ń towó jọ tá a máa fi gbé Adélé wọlé. Gbogbo rọ nonsense yẹn is all lies. In tó ń ṣe ni pé wọ́n kàn da brain yín rú. Tẹ́ bá lọ wo page wọn, I mean, ẹ ti gba country, but ẹ ṣì ń present problem one kí ni kàn yín pẹ̀lú problem one nínú Nàìjíríà kò sí tó kàn yín mọ́. Mo wà lórí page wọn lánàá mo kàn ń wò pé what I see that they are doing is just the same awareness táwa náà create. That's all I see there. In tó kàn create nìyẹn. That is all I see there. Kò sí any evidence kankan because ẹ ṣì ń complain nípa the same thing tèmi náà complain ẹ ṣì ń present the same thing or almost similar even if it's just the style tá a fi present ló yàtọ̀ because ẹ bá lọ sórí page wọn nísìn wọn á máa sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ò tí ì dá kí ni kàn yín pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà ò dá mọ́ ẹni tó ti gba territory tó ti gba country ẹ̀yin ò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà mọ́ but wọ́n sì ní so much ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà because country táwọn sọ pé àwọn ti gbà yẹn kò sí ìwà nímúṣẹ irọ́ ló ń pa but àwọn òmùgọ̀ àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ àwọn àgbàlagbà torí wọn pé tó wà labroad bí òtútù ti sápá yín lórí tẹ́ ẹ lè think tẹ́ ẹ lè ronú kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè dá ronú fún yín mọ́ àwa la ṣe tí wọ́n ń bá yín ronú táwọn tó wà ń lé bá wà gọ́líbù ẹ bá máa lọ sórí program yẹn ní every blessed day awareness lẹ́ ń create kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ country awareness lẹ́ ń create yes intent ń create yẹn ó ń showcase pé lóòótọ́ problem wà nínú Nàìjíríà but ẹ̀yin fúnra ara yín ẹ̀ tí ní any evidence kankan pé ẹ ti gba country èyí tó wà ní ibi tó ti operate concept òun gan fúnra rẹ̀ concept kò lè lọ fi country yẹn kó lọ fi negotiate ibi tó wà yẹn because I'm not going to mention their name because it is irrelevant to be mentioning their name àwọn tó bá mọ̀ tá à ń sọ ẹ bèrè nínú comment section ayé yín because ní dárúkọ wọn because kò necessary but àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ tí mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ó ti yé wọn ibi tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àti tí mò ń sọ ẹni tó wà nílùú tó wà yẹn fúnra rẹ̀ ìlú tó wà tó ti operate yẹn òun fúnra rẹ̀ ò lè sọ pé country tóun ti declare yẹn o kó wá gbé country yẹn kó lọ fi negotiate pẹ̀lú country tó wà yẹn because wọn ní dá lóhùn because ìlú tó wà yẹn àwọn yẹn sì ń bá Nàìjíríà ṣe so ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà labroad ẹ̀yin gangan ni any problem ṣe náà tó wà nílé ìyá ti mú wọn ju kí ló dálẹ̀ lọ so excitement pé àwọn fẹ́ gba country ó wà lára gbogbo wọn it is an excitement but kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ country ẹ má bínú mo ní láti jẹ́ kí àwọn aráalé mi mọ̀ pé mo ti come off kọ́lé because sometimes like that we have to let them know that we are off the mic but a ṣe wà lórí tọ̀dọ̀ tiwantiwa mo kí ẹ Chinedu so ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ play kankan kí n fi lọ sàlẹ̀ kí n lọ fi because wọ́n lè má mọ̀ pé mo ti ṣetán lórí Star Radio so ẹ má kí ọkàn fún yín pé wọ́n ti gba country kò sí àwọn tó ń jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti gba country is all lies illusion ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹni tó bá mọ̀ tó ń pè ní illusion ẹ lọ sórí dictionary kẹ lọ béèrè kí ló ń pè ní illusion is an illusion for anybody to be coming out and say we have got a country ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ díẹ̀ lára àwọn ìyá tí wọ́n lament burúkú nípa iye Nàìjíríà yẹn ẹ jẹ́ tó lọ mélè jáde gbogbo wọn náà lọ dìbò àwọn kan náà wọn gbowó bọ̀wọ́ dìbò ẹ̀dá gbọ́n tó sọ níbí wọ́n padà bọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ bá wa lọ subscribe sórí WD76 ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ tí máa rí gbogbo àwọn ọ́díò tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ yẹn ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ tí máa rí so eléyìí ń lòdì lọ́wọ́ fẹ́ make sure pé lóòdì kí n tó dìde ni lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa system mi gan-an.
Àwọn èèyàn fẹ̀dùn ọkàn lórí bí kò ṣe ń lọ ní Koiki
Flower àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n, káyọ̀ àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n. Búrẹ́dì náà ti wọ́n. Mélòó ló lè jẹ́? Ilé ìpáwẹ̀ ti lọ́lẹ̀ gbẹ́ má bínú, a máa end ilé Instagram mi because phone yẹn ti sọ fún mi pé ẹ lọ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí Don't Come This Side yẹn tó. So kẹ lọ bá wa ṣe ọ̀nà ẹ ṣe jà ẹ má dà wọn lóò yá wa Rúkà yàtọ̀ náà mi. So yẹ ká end ilé lórí Instagram kí lè máa charge phone yẹn má bí ok tí bá tẹ̀lé kí tí bá tẹ̀lé ok ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé wá sókè màá kọ́ gbé sórí tripod ni. Mo kí o gba àwọn Koiki Media team àkó palẹ̀mọ́ ọdún. Mo kí bàbá wa testimony Ògúntọ́nà wọ́n ní Yorùbá nation is a non-negotiable yeah. Abrodian fools who don't believe there's a Yoruba nation already. Don't mind them. We are still in Nigeria. Benny. So, Benny, Neton has a key to freedom of breadcrumbs in question. So, you know, am I key or con? So, for you, one waste time around one, am I down alone? You know, don't start again. On go waiting lament in this thing. I hope we have to make on election in 2027. Tún ní ẹ fẹ́ jáde ẹ fẹ́ ṣe election ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́yìn ti kọjá election ò lè solve problem wa election kò lè solve problem wa we are far past beyond election what we need now is to talk about the negotiate o country tẹ́ ń pè Nàìjíríà ìlú tó ti bayé jẹ́ ìlú tó ti bayé jẹ́ ó ti bà tọmọ kékeré jẹ́ ó ti bà tàgbàlagbà jẹ́ àmọ́ manager bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ move laptop mi sẹ́yìn so at least ó ti ń charge lábẹ́ ẹ ṣe láìkì start on your label so you better be na pé ká pa programming ẹ máa dín ọkọ full yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo sọ kò tí sí country kankan Amabite is a shege Pro Max is loading so you know where we are right now is we need to continue to intensify on President Bola Tinubu just start platform again since the motivation pẹ̀lú Star Radio ní bíbá so mo lè start live lórí Koiki Odùduwà. So I mean there is hope fún wa lóòótọ́ but kíyàn kan wá máa ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ó ti wà ní ìmúṣẹ Koiki irọ́ ló ń pa fún yín wọ́n scam yín ni àwa ti gba country ọmọ ẹ forget ẹ tó bá lọ dé Nàìjíríà tó bá lọ sọ pé ó ti gba country wàá gba ìtì ẹ ní fact mo sọ fún ẹ tó bá lọ bá immigration officer pé a ti wà nínú lọ́bìrì lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ mi tó wà ní ọjà ọ̀dàn kò sẹ́ni kankan tó mọ̀ pé Yorùbá nation ti dé as a country wọ́n mọ̀ pé wọ́n campaign olóyè Ìgbòho ó ní kí Yorùbá dá dúró ìyẹn làwọn mọ̀ lọ́sọ́jà ọ̀dàn kó lọ sọ pé àsínú Nàìjíríà mọ̀ wàá gba etí ẹ ni àwọn ọmọ mi wà nílé tán káàkiri fún wa o so gbogbo ẹ tí ẹ jẹ́ òmùgọ̀ ẹ̀yin idiot tẹ jẹ́ diaspora tẹ wà ní abroad tí ẹ ń tọrọ yín tẹjọ́ ń ṣe òṣìbẹ̀rún aṣẹ́wó lórí broadcast ẹ̀ ń sọ pé ti gba country gbogbo nonsense yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ọtútù ẹ̀ dànù tó bá lọ anyway púpọ̀ ni wọ́n dẹ̀ máa lọ́lé alábòsí ni wọ́n púpọ̀ ni wọ́n ti ra ticket púpọ̀ ni wọ́n tó ń sọ pé àwọn ti gba country ọ̀rọ̀ máa lọ́lé nísìn wọn ní sọ fẹ́ nìkan kan náà nígbà tí professor Moyo lọ́lé sọ dágbére fún wa ni nígbà tí Nàìjíríà happen sí wọn la ṣe gbọ́ pé wọ́n wà nílé àìmọye àwọn tó ti lọ́lé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà nísìnyí o tẹ́ pé irọ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé táwọn bá lọ́lé ara lọ́lé wá padà táwọn máa jubilate lórí social media àti gba Yorùbá nation country kò sí ọ̀kan tó ń jẹ́ country yet it is still a campaign dẹ̀ rèé it doesn't matter Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín 4 years ní Tinubu lò labroad àbúrò mo yé yín nísìn 4 years ní Tinubu lò labroad kó tó di pé ó padà sí Wale Ali is a coward he is voicing out and he has called Dupe out ẹ wá dá ẹ lóhùn alábòsí mà ní Wale Ali mo tẹ̀ fi dárúkọ gbogbo anyway so alábòsí mà ní gbogbo àwọn yẹn alábòsí ní gbogbo wọn so you know a wà nínú campaign mode láṣìwà yes ìgbà Tinubu ọdún mẹ́rin nílùú yìí ló ń ṣe meeting AD meeting gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe meeting nìyẹn wọ́n sì wà láyé o wọ́n ṣe meeting gbà tó fẹ́ padà sílé kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ọ̀nà wo ló máa gbà oyè yín bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ eventually he became the governor from governor owó dẹ̀ wà ní Lagos State gbà mélòó politics in Nigeria èrò àwa nísìn ní owó yẹn so ìyẹn ni àwa la wá ń fund ẹ̀ fúnra wa ìyẹn ni bàbá Akíntóyè ń sọ fáwọn olówó wa pé ẹ dákẹ́ wọ́n ń ṣe jàǹbá fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ dá sí ẹ sọ sí ẹ ṣe bíi pé kò kàn yín àwọn òní wá jẹ́ torí ìyẹn torí àwọn elite wa mo ti fẹsẹ̀ yọ chájà mi bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ń nọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ mi ni ẹ̀wọ̀n pé yàrá ti jókòó láti ìwà ènìyàn gbọ́dọ̀ stretch ẹsẹ̀ torí kẹ́jẹ̀ lè flow dáadáa àbọ̀rọ̀ mòye yín nísìn so gbogbo àwọn 419 tí wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn elite wa tó yẹ pé ní Nàìjíríà làwọn tí inú Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ti lówó tẹ́ bá lọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ Mike Adenuga ní sí pé báwo ló ṣe lówó kò lè fún yín ní details because bá ṣe gbọ́ oríṣiríṣi àwọn tó jẹ́ ọ̀tọ̀ ní tí Babangida ṣe jẹ́ bla 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 blo 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 olówó proxies ti pọ̀ jù a lè wá sọ pé búrẹ́dì ló ń tà láti búrẹ́dì ó wá di olówó ó ṣe nǹkan míì àní evidence yẹn so but at the end of the day àwọn ò ní jókòó kí ló ń pa àmà bíìtì lẹ́rìn àwọn ò ní jókòó ká wá sọ pé torí àwọn elite wọ̀ ní dá sí káwa náà wá relax no we are not gonna do that we will continue the push which is exactly what we are doing on a daily basis you know it is not gonna be I mean nothing is gonna come easy so tẹ́ bá rò pé bóyá overnight ní Yorùbá nation máa wáyé yes nígbà tí ẹ ti lọ through kẹdàrúrú kẹjà ká da gbogbo ẹrú kò lè wá overnight o kò lè wá overnight so kò ní wá overnight what we are doing right now is first to now go back again on the drawing table gbogbo àwọn ìyá tẹ́ ń rí tó ń ṣe fídíò táwọn náà ń bá nísìn mo rò pé tó bá tún di 2027 àwa kúkú ní archive mo sọ fún yín pé gbogbo fídíò mi wà á tún padà lọ bá wọn close to 2027 ṣé kò ń ṣe pé tún máa dìbò because this our parents gangan ló ń lò àwọn ìyá wa yìí ló ń lò mo kí àwa mọ́mí wa Dúpẹ́ Agboola àti kúrò lórí Star Radio sórí Koiki Media ni mo wà nísìn àwọn ìyá yìí náà lọ tún máa lọ bá lọ máa tún kàjò and mo ń try láti bá máa sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàǹṣà but ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn politicians yẹn they are very bad ìkà ni wọ́n owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ Yáyì nísìn owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ as an example kò ń ṣòwò kékeré ẹ rántí ìgbà tó donate kinní kan ní Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ kó tó sá lọ sógun state ó donate mọ́tò ẹ mọ̀ tó ń ta àwọn mọ́tò yẹn kankan these are bastards tó ní wọ́n ti fi politics fi make owó rẹpẹtẹ wọ́n ti fi ẹ lè beat wọn tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ wá sọ pé o máa gbé gẹ̀ síta irú Ìgbòho nísìn lọ́mọ̀ pé Ìgbòho dúró tán wọ́n lè ṣe kankan fún Ìgbòho but ìwọ tó jẹ́ ordinary person wọ́n á rán anybody sí ẹ wọ́n á pa ẹ́ dànù wọ́n á take it out but irú àwọn olóyè Ìgbòho nísìn wọ́n mọ̀ pé yes àwọn ilé dúró wọlé attack wọn then àwọn tó ń ṣe fún ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn náà ta mọ̀ wọ́n àwọn sì ń wo pé ibẹ̀ làwọn náà ti ń jẹ alágbára dẹ̀ ló jẹun ta ní Nàìjíríà ní South West alágbára ló ń jẹun ta gbogbo àwọn MC olómọ tẹ́ ń rí àwọn ṣẹ́gun kankan alágbára tó ń jẹun ta ni wọ́n àwọn náà ti sacrifice so but I lè continue with that kind of system kò lè work tàbá ní ká máa trade the system yẹn lọ kò lè dọ́gba fún gbogbo wa ok inú ilé mi mo wà nísìn mo ti lọ sàlẹ̀ nísìn oúnjẹ tí máa jẹ ó ti wà sàlẹ̀ ìbá ṣe tán nísìn oúnjẹ tí máa jẹ pẹ̀lú vegetable ó ti prepare fún mi omi lélẹ̀ iná wà kò ṣe pé ó easy náà but at the end of the day it is still far better because tó o bá ti kọjá àyà rẹ nílùú yìí tó o bá ti kọjá àyà rẹ kò ṣe pé àwọn tó wà lé náà àwọn kan ò ní owó lọ́wọ́ wọn ò wá òkè but báwo ni tó lówó lọ́wọ́ tó ní àlàáfíà because many of you ní Nàìjíríà lẹ́ni nísìn ẹ ní owó lóòótọ́ but ẹ ní sinmi ẹ lálàáfíà because ìlú yìí nísìn ẹni máa pè mí pé Mr. Koiki pé àfi tó bá yẹ pé fún ìdí kan àbí ìdí kejì most of the time àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ pé náà nítorí pé wọ́n nídìí ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún bóyá ẹni tó ṣẹ̀ dé bí ìwé ò tí jáde ó nídìí owó láti fi ṣe kankan or most of the time ẹni tó bá béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ èèyàn labroad tó jẹ́ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ pàdé yín àwọn àgbogbo náà la máa ń béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ ara wa alájà ìyá àjọ ṣe lè fún mi lówó díẹ̀ kékeré kan Nàìjíríà yìí náà la máa ń sẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ sí because a fẹ́ fi solve problem kan títí tá a máa fi gbowó oṣù nígbà tá a bá wá gbowó oṣù tán àwa dá padà a lè máa fọ́ǹdì Morikokun Foundation nísìn it's doing very well I'm not against it ìyẹn kan jáde ó ní kidney ẹ bá wa fún lówó a lè continue láti máa ṣerú ayé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn it can't continue but at the end of the day èyí tẹ́ wà ń lé àwa tí àjọ jẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù because gbogbo wa báyìí nísìnyí mẹ̀kúnnù kọ́lọ́n kó sọ wá ní olówó ni àwa gangan lẹ wá ń kọrin mọ́ àwa lẹ máa ran yín mọ́ àwọn ẹ̀ máa níyẹn you don mo rí kan náà láìpẹ́ lórí TikTok ó ní you don start again mo block wèrè dànù at the end of the day because àwọn ẹlẹ́wọ̀ dínà nísìn ẹ lọ sórí Linda Kejì kẹlẹ́wọ̀ dínà bó ṣe ń tẹ̀ sí lójú pẹ̀lú àwọn mọ́tò ẹ̀ dáńdáńdáńdáń ṣebí gbogbo alamọ dínà ibo ló ti rówó inú politics ni gbogbo wọn ti rówó so ìyẹn lẹ́yìn náà ṣe jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín mo kí bàbá wa kí máa Ayọ̀délé because ẹ̀yin náà rò pé lọ́jọ́ kan èmi náà máa dàbí dínà èmi náà máa lówó máa tẹ̀ sí gbogbo wa lójú ànígbà yẹn it's not possible. This is one of the reasons that those that Muria Waris only those mamas are campaigners being bribed by Ankara campaign party trail. Most of them ní mo ní láti lọ wá ó rẹ̀ pé mo ní so many archive of lágbára Ọlọ́run tí bá di pé mo wà pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ tó ń bá mi ṣiṣẹ́ mọ̀ èmi nìkan mo wà ní bíbá it's not easy videos pọ̀ tí mo ní gan but ìgbà míì bá láti fi máa wá jáde àti download gbogbo oríṣiríṣi hard drive maybe like number 10 but nígbà tí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó ń bá mi ṣiṣẹ́ wàá lè máa archive wọn jáde àwọn videos kan wà tí mo record ní 2019 nígbà tí mo lọ sí Nàìjíríà nígbà tó ń ṣe election ọ̀rọ̀ tí Waris Jinadu sọ yẹn ìjọ ìmú kọ́kọ́ máa rí láyé mi èmi dẹ̀ rò pé wọ́n ju owó ni Akínládé ẹ̀ràn Akínládé ló contest pẹ̀lú Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún wèrè onífìlà gogoro Amosun kò support Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún because Akínládé ló fẹ́ yẹ kó di governor Lagos ní Ogun State àwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ Ogun State mọ̀ tí mo sọ ẹ̀ àdìmí kangan ilé ẹ̀ ní Akínládé ń gbé ìyẹn ló rò kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ pé ibi tí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé Akínládé ló máa lò wọ́n kọ́kọ́ lọ ra brand new tinted bulletproof car àwọn bulletproof motor kọ̀pàdé mi yẹn ilé bàbá ẹ̀ ní Akínládé gbà kó tó di pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ campaign ibẹ̀ lọ páàkì mọ́tò yẹn sí because bulletproof car lọ gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi gbé ẹni tó fi ṣe gọ́fúnà jáde but average person nísìn gbogbo àwọn ìyá tó ń sunkún lọ sọ́tún nísìn yes níbi ìbàyẹn náà àwa náà à ń sunkún à ń pamọ́ ni inflation ti lọ sókè tí bá tán gas ó ti lọ sókè insurance everything oúnjẹ but ìyàtọ̀ kan ni pé government náà prepare àwọn kan ní Koiki yẹn but UK a lè compare kí ló dé tá a lè compare Nàìjíríà lówó náà a lówó la yá UK lówó tí gbọ́tàn yẹn rí pé ayá ìlú ìlówó nígbà tá a ní àwọn owó yẹn kí ló dé tí wọ́n ṣe surplus oríṣiríṣi factory oríṣiríṣi iléeṣẹ́ oríṣiríṣi development tí gbogbo wa nísìn tí a dé yìí tá a máa wá bá tẹ́lú ẹ̀ wá jókòó sí ìlú òyìnbó ìwọ náà jókòó sí abroad ìwọ tó wà Nàìjíríà nísìn ìwọ náà wá bó ṣe fẹ́ jápa àní máa bọ̀ kájọ máa gbé nílùú ẹ̀ 1,009 lówó lé 3 bedroom wàá sanwó lé ẹ̀mí àfẹ́ bọ́ tí o sì rí lẹ́gbẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà o sì nílẹ̀ àwọn àǹtí ẹ̀ gbé tí ò sanwó lé ẹlòmíì ò sanwó lé nu yín wàá sanwó lé kódà bó bá lọ gba rúùmù kan wàá sanwó lé kò sọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ nílùú yìí tó bá lọ gbé lọ́dọ̀ àǹtí ẹ̀ tó bá dé stage kan àǹtí ẹ̀ máa sọ pé ọmọ lọ gba lé èmi ò ní kó máa bọ̀ láàbúrò kájọ máa gbé níbí báyìí à ń sọ pé kí gbogbo wa ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn politicians àwọn tó ń ní wá lára ẹ̀ sọ pé fẹ́ fix Nàìjíríà ò lè fix ara ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni monthly tí kò gbọdọ̀ dín tó bá lè gba tó bá kó family wá kò máa láti gba big place bó tó bá yẹ pé single nìyẹn yàrá kan ló máa gbà wo gbogbo àwọn tó ń package ara wọn tẹ máa ń rí ní party àwọn pàdé yẹn room kan ló ń gbé o àfáwọn tó bá yẹ pé yes wọ́n ti ní family o lè wá máa expand wọn gbé pé àwọn bàbá kan nísìn àwọn ìyá kan nísìn inú single room lọ́rọ̀ ra há sí bọ̀ nítorí pé èèyàn ò rí wọn ò ní fi single room wọ̀nyí náà ṣé èmi fi ọ̀dọ̀ mi wọ̀nyí ẹgbẹ́ tó máa fi wọ̀nyí pákéjì náà wà nílùú yìí èyí tẹ̀lé tún bọ̀ àfi tó bá níwèé nílùú yìí tó bá níwèé nílùú yìí ọmọ forget ò lè gba benefit o so mo kí Alájà Adéọlá ẹ káàbọ̀ mọ́ èmi ò ní kí àwọn kan máa wà abroad o èmi ò ní sáwọn tó máa ní ẹ máa wà ẹ máa bọ̀ kájọ máa gbé abroad èmi náà wà máa bọ̀ abroad tó bá dẹ̀ lè dé ní kódà bá dé Yugoslavia tó bá ti mọ̀ bá lè dé Eastern European abroad náà kódà tó bá ti dé Benin Republic gan abroad náà ló wà. But what we are saying is that the future of the Yoruba people níbo ló wà ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ gbà ṣé bá ṣe kàn máa pariwo kẹlọ tó bá di 7 o'clock ẹ fi lọ wo ṣe wọn kí n bá lóye gbogbo nonsense yẹn kò lè work ẹ fi máa lọ wo ṣẹpẹtẹrì Àlátà ní Yọmí ṣẹpẹtẹrì àwọn yẹn ń gbá sí fúnra wọn àwọn ṣẹpẹtẹrì mo lè láìkì sísítà mi náà ìnà Bukky Jesse àwọn tó ń jà fún ti Mohbad Ìyá Alájé náà ti wà live bí a ká parí eléyìí kí a lọ wò Ìyá Alájé èmi náà lọ ṣe aago 9 ti lò kí n lọ jẹun jàre ọlẹ́rìí kí ó dáa kí n tètè máa jẹun kó lè digest tí bá sì ní energy máa padà wá lálẹ́ tó bá dẹ̀ lọ energy mọ́ tí wá sì lè padà wá lálẹ́ fine if not so in diaspora some diaspora are still in bad shape yet they are sending bẹ́ẹ̀ ni but mọ̀ á yan àwọn èèyàn wa nílé la ṣe ń send owó wàláì kò yẹ pa ní bá ṣe ń ní báyìí bó ṣe ń dà àkáǹtì wa báyìí tá a bá ti yọ owó ìlú yìí pọ̀ bí ẹ̀dá o máa kọ́ yọ owó transportation tó bá ń drive náà wà yọ owó insurance wà yọ owó ilé àwọn máa wéèrè ló kù £300 ìgbà ìwọ tí ìwọ wá ń bá wọn monitor ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà ò ń bá ẹni tó wà ní abroad ò ń bá monitor owó oṣù ẹ̀ jẹ́ ká stable àti send owó títí owó tá a wá ń send ẹ̀yin ò stable àwa náà stable everybody no stable àwọn generation tàbí àwọn ọmọ tá à ń bí nísìn àwọn ò ní send owó sílé o ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé ni wọ́n sọ fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò ní send owó sílé o kò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú my mommy's uncle brother my mommy's dad kò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú yẹn they want to live a better life they want to àwọn náà máa prepare life fúnra wọn so that's why some of us are working back to back so ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn àdúrà wa gbà o ìtàtúnṣọ lálẹ́ kọ́lọ́ mú lọ sílé àṣẹ o àkópalẹ̀mọ́dún abáwaláyé o ẹni tó bá lè ràn àwọn èèyàn lọ́wọ́ nílé níwọ̀nba tẹ́ bá lè ṣe ẹ surprise wọn ẹ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ tó bá sẹ́ndì àkáǹtì sí mi Mr. Koiki ṣàánú mi ọmọ àlọ́bá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ẹni o mo kí ẹ easy dollar kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ o mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa mo kí ìjáyàjáyà mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá àtẹni tó ṣe Yorùbá nation àtẹni tó ṣe Yorùbá nation àtẹni tó ń ṣe PDP àtẹni tó ṣe APC gbogbo wa la máa ṣe kí ni a máa jẹ breakfast so ìta bá sọ tó bá bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyanu ẹ̀fọ́ríjì wa but for now mo sọ pé èmi ni last man standing àtakú sí ibi tá a wà ní so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ lọ gbọ́ Ìyá Alájé kí lọ fi máa fi jẹ dínà mi so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn thanks so much everyone have a very good evening Olayomi Koiki KOIKIMEDIA bringing the world closer to your doorstep. So are you finished? No, I'm still closing. I'm finished, but don't come into the. You can come, but don't come into where I'm sitting. I'm just closing the broadcast. So, Mokibubu Alek, hey, Temilori Mixella, Waris, Moke, Atuma Padi, Pesek, Olakunle, Banki Bubu Antarale, Ola Droti Bubu, Waris, Moke Lenkonsi, Ogumalani, those market mama will still vote Tinubu. If Nigeria still exists in 2077, they will never learn. Wallahi. Then, Òmìnira 2022 people are shameless people, thought it is fact that their government bomb bastard. Thanks so much. Love you all. Bye for now. Enter our Lori Twitter space. Thank you so much. That is how far we can go tonight. I hope you enjoy the program. Bye for now.